Okay, what's up everyone? Welcome to another YouTube video. I'm going to start out on the iPhone. This has been my long-term iOS 13 review. This has been well needed over a long while, but I know iOS 14 betas are coming. iOS 14 won't be out into the public till September or October, but I won't be running 13 after Tuesday. So I'll be doing a live stream Monday starting at 11 a.m. hopefully. There will be a scheduled stream starting 12 hours in advance on the channel. It should be. I'll schedule it eventually. It'll pop up on the channel as there will be an upcoming live stream. So that will start at 11 a.m. Eastern. That is 11 a.m. my time. If we go to world clocks. Wait, no. Hold on. So simply, like right now, it is currently, as I'm filming this recording,
notifications 018,
which is 12:18 a.m. on Sunday. Right now, and over in London, England, it is 5:18 a.m., which is 5:18 a.m. GMT. Over in California, Sacramento, especially where Apple is, it is 9:18 p.m. So simply, what's gonna happen is, bear with me, I'm drinking some soda too while I'm doing this.
Skype,
no, don't read that out. So simply, this is like a long video. This is good. This is sort of raw, but this is my thoughts and opinion on what iOS 13 in general. We're going to start off with the iPhone. All right, so VoiceOver.
Voice, books, health.
VoiceOver's been pretty good, but when I visit certain websites and
browser,
Safari or browser, whatever you call it, I nicknamed it browser with VoiceOver. It would jump like I thought VoiceOver just jumped, but like sometimes when I was filming a video back with the iOS 14 WWDC final updates, which you can watch that video. I'll probably leave a link in that to the description. I was filming and I didn't touch the screen, but VoiceOver jumped up to the the status bar item.
Browser.
Here.
Dimmed, but address. 12 Apple button.
Go to
Apple. Shop of Apple format options.
See,
button.
It's not jumping right now.
Apple shop of and get the learn. Join us full stream ahead. WWD full stream ahead. Heading level 3. Join us Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time when the very first landline worldwide developers conference kicks off. Learn more about get the Apple developer app. Link iPhone SE. Heading level 2.
So,
page 1 of 11.
I will be doing a live stream on that later. So when I was on Apple's website with the whole developer
full
thing,
stream ahead. Full stream ahead.
With
global
this,
app open menu. Add the watch the key WWDC June. Add view Apple special event. Heading level 3.
I was doing that.
Page 1 of 8.
That's when I
view
got
recent
the
Apple
artwork.
page 1 of 8.
And VoiceOver decided to
format options.
jump.
Button.
Well, I made it jump that time, but it would jump, and it don't do it all the time.
VoiceOver off.
It would only do it at random times, which was weird. Now, my iPhone really has not had that many problems with VoiceOver. I mean, it's been laggy and whatever, but that's when it's warm or whatever. My iPhone also has been having a bit of heating problems, not as bad as it has had on 11. All in all, for the iPhone 7, iOS 13, Apple, do better, please. I'd rather see, certain things like here. You could see my little widgets of my CPU. Even while I'm recording, it spikes at like 55%, 44%. My RAM, it does normal. That's normal. And whatever else. So yeah. Anyways, that's what that shows. Any problems that I've had, I haven't had really anything. Now the iPads, they've had the Mini 4 has had problems, but I'll get into that. So my overall thoughts of iOS 13, I've heard things happen to people that have iPhone XS Max and all that, but me, for my iPhones, for my iPhone of this 7 here, which I will be upgrading soon, very soon actually. It's okay for 3 years old. I mean, I'm not going to complain. My battery life is a different story, but whatever. We're not going to get into that. But I like how Apple did with the control center, is they kind of did make it look like the old iPhone, like the new iPhones. There's one thing I wish I could see on 14 is where they, like on the new iPhones, they don't show the carrier anywhere up in the status bar. I know the notch is in the way, but they don't even show it when you have the control center up. Do exactly that. I have weak cellular service where I am. That's why I have airplane mode on and then Wi-Fi on, because I just have weak service. I live out in the countryside. I mean, yeah. So for my iPhone, long-term review, I really have nothing to complain about. I don't really have that many problems. Me having problems. VoiceOver's been a little laggy, and 13.0 through 13.3 is where most of my bugs were. And then 13.3 up is when it got better for me. A lot better. But then they started, 13.4.1 was with that whole bug where I got the text message, or the iMessage problem with the Arabic code, the Arabic letters and flag symbols. That was a major disaster on 13.4.1, which I got sent that and it logged up all my devices beside the Mini 5. Or not the Mini 5, Mini 4. Which we'll get into that one soon. So for the iPhone, it's been okay. I mean, if I was going to give it a 1 to 5 star rating, I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars. So, peace. Once again, I'm back with another piece of this video. So now we're on the iPad Mini 4. It's at 7% battery because I had to bring it out of shelter, or not shelter of. What's going on with it? So,
Voiceover on. Landscape. FaceTime. 3 missed FaceTime calls.
alright, so whatever. The iPad, for all in all, for a Mini 4, if you have a Mini 4 and you plan on, you're like, if you had a Mini 4 for a long time, you got your monies out of it. I mean, you got your money out of it. It was worth it. It got the job done. Like my 7. My 7 got the job done, but heating problems with 11 killed it. And I think it did the same with this in a way, because it don't last as long as I think it probably has at least 25% maximum capacity worn on it. The one thing that I want to do is I want to get this done before 5% or less than 5%, because the processor goes into underclockage because of the way it is of the A8 and how weak it is. That if I open up certain apps, like down here, I have 2 Skypes. You're wondering how I run Skype for iPhone on this, along with Skype for iPad, which can also explain why I murder it. For people that can't see,
Dock. Skype. 2 new items.
yeah. If I open up that Skype with 2 new items, this is gonna be troublesome. So simply, VoiceOver for viewing on the iPad Mini 4, I've had no problems. The Pro I use way more than the Mini 4. I use it for miscellaneous stuff. If I use this is the device my niece normally uses for watching YouTube videos with VoiceOver off.
Voiceover off.
And she normally watches YouTube, and she gets enough battery life out of it that she can deal with it for a few days. This is the device I did jailbreak, and I enjoy jailbreaking it. You can see my widgets here. You can see how good they are. Look at that CPU spike up. And then it drops down to and then if I start VoiceOver up.
Voiceover on. Landscape. 100%. 78%. 58%. 57%.
You can see.
59%.
Now, iPadOS is pretty good at balancing the RAM, but
53%. 64%.
the CPU usage is different. It can get a little rowdy. You're wondering why did I hear different voices versus different devices? I'm using Alex because Alex is a little bit more responsive on this device. And I'm recording this video in the same night. So, simply, for the iPad, the Mini 4, I know this device, apparently according to Mac rumors, will not be getting iPadOS 14. And me personally, I mean, it in a way, it's good that they're not going to let it completely go on the iPadOS 14. However, they need to keep releasing updates for iPadOS.
Alert. Low battery.
See, I got a low battery.
Close button.
See how long that lasts.
0032.
I literally just got the 10% 3 minutes before I was recording. So you can see it. I'm at 50% brightness.
0033.
That's going to
TV.
speak the time every...
TV.
Hold on.
TV.
Control center.
So you can see.
Brightness. Brightness 50%. Edge volume 100%. 90, 80%. 70, 60%. 50%. 60%.
The volume on this, I'm not used to it as I'm used to the iPhone speakers that are a tad bit louder, but this ain't an iPad Mini 4 review or a review for my Pro. The brightness is at 50%.
00. CPU button 82%.
But you can see, look at that. As I scroll through, it spikes up. Which the AA chip, it shows its age. It shows it majorly when accessing websites and whatever. And I'm not gonna go into Safari and show y'all really big stuff, because there's stuff on here that's personal, and I don't need out on YouTube, like there was with the iPhone. Which
53%.
So you can see it idles down eventually, but it's still stuck in the 50s. The only time I see it down into the 30s.
52%.
The only time I see it down in the 30s is if I turn
Voiceover off.
So if I turn voiceover off, then it may fluctuate and slowly eventually drop, but it's screen recording right now, so that gives a CPU boost, boosts it up a little bit. I've seen it idle as low as 18%, but that's only on a really rare occasion. It has to be at 100% battery, too, and be maxed all the way out at its normal peak performance capability. So all in all, the iPad Mini 4 served its time. It needs to retire. Yes, it could possibly get iPadOS 14, but with the stuff I'm hearing from reports, I'm glad it's retiring. So now we're going to go on to the big boy, the iPad Pro 3rd generation, which I'm excited for that one. So yeah. Now we round out my iOS 13 review on the iPad Pro. Okay, for the most part, I've used the iPad Pro as like my main device for all my pro stuff, like editing, doing all the stuff, moving big files. I manage a YouTube channel that they do podcasting, and videos are about 2 hours long, and they're about 500 megs each, sometimes even 1 gigabyte, or as small as 375 gigabytes. And iPadOS has handled that really fine. There was one time when I uploaded a ton of files to a service platform called Telegram, and it was less than 1.5 gigs, but it was 1.2 gigs, but they were small little files. It did crash and then reboot. That was only one time. That was back in iOS 13 or iPadOS 13.3.1, I want to say, or 13.3. I think that was because I was working the system a little too hard. But that was one thing. This review is probably not I know I was hyping it up to be a little bit bigger than that, but mainly for me, on my end, iPadOS 13 and iOS 13, just in general, iOS 13 to 13.0 through 13.6 have been very okay. iOS 12 was way better by the cooling, the device is not running hot, and just all around performance. iPadOS is, if you got an iPad Pro or an iPad that's got an A12, you really got the best out of the stick when it came down to 13 because of the performance. But smaller devices like I was doing on the Mini 4, it didn't like it too well. But like iOS 12 was okay, yes, but when they brought iPadOS out, there's a few things that I'll go into detail later about iPadOS. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I found some cool features that I haven't fully confirmed, that I'm still trying to figure out, and if they're still going to work in the next beta. So yeah, that's one thing, and I have now figured out how to not do crap. I know this recording is not as big as y'all was hyping it. It wasn't as bad, or it wasn't as cool as it is. It was simply, if I was gonna rate iOS and iPadOS 13 from 1 to 5 stars, I'd give it, out of all my devices, A12, A10, AX, Bionic chips, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It used to be a 3 out of 5 because I was having problems, but Apple has fixed some of the problems. There was some voiceover bugs. Yes, that's understandable because they did do things with voiceover, but hopefully we could see an iPhone OS 14 as it's rumored to be, and iPad OS 14. Some more optimization. Uh, we had features like dark mode. Now 14 should be that year that you optimize your software for stability. Now you can add a few features, but there's one feature I would wish to have, where either if you get a call or if you ask Siri something, it would be in a small UI. So anyways, appreciate everyone for watching this video. I will probably be live streaming anywhere between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's not fully planned. There's not a full actual set date. I want to confirm that now too, because as I'm getting closer to that time, I don't know what my schedule's going to be. I'm trying my best to plan it, but I'll set the time on the channel at 11 p.m. tonight or around 11 p.m. the event will pop up as a scheduled event at 11 a.m. Eastern, so you know what time it is in your area, 12 hours in advance. So I'm going to get to editing this and get this out within the next 3 hours. It's current day. So yeah, this is my iOS 13 review. I like iOS 13 all around the board. iPad OS has been pretty good. Small, older devices, it hasn't been the best. It's laggy. Devices are showing their age, but the new devices, it works perfectly fine. Everything works fine. It used to have RAM management problems back in iPad OS 13.2 and 3. But since they fixed that, I've not had that much RAM management problems. RAM's actually been pretty good. And I have a whole CPU chart right here that tells me everything. From CPU usage, which...
Landscape, 17%. 22%.
Now 13%. You can see it runs really good.
11%.
So yeah.
Voiceover off.
Anyways, I will see y'all in another video. Peace.